Welcome to our end of week news bulletin. My name is Koplo Kibwanga Ferdinand. The Kdf Weekly Bulletin is a show to keep you updated on events undertaken by the Ministry of Defense over the week. In today's bulletin, President Ruto presides over graduation ceremony at the National Defense College. CS Defense chairs first plenary meeting for contract group on illicit maritime activities. Free medical camp in Turkana. East African Community Regional Force Commander visits Rumangabo and Kibumba FOBs. And in sports, the 43rd edition of the KDF Athletics Championship held at Ulinzi Sports Complex Langata here in Nairobi. His Excellency Honorable Dr. William Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, presided over the award of certificates to 70 graduates at the National Defense College at Karen here in Nairobi. This came after the graduates course 25 of 2022-2023 successfully completed a 49-week intensive training. The graduates comprised of 50 Kenyans drawn from the military and other government ministries, departments and agencies, while 17 were from allied countries in Africa and Asia. The President congratulated the graduates for their hard work, commitment and resilience throughout the entire course period, urging them to live up to the ideals and aspirations of the college.
The Commander-in-Chief expressed his appreciation for the role and achievement of the college for consistently maintaining an admirable record. This, he said, had a significant contribution in positively shaping Kenya's national security and overall development agenda.
I am also pleased to note the widening international reach by the college, especially in Africa, which attests to the growing appetite throughout our continent for common approaches to regional and national policy and strategy. This is excellent news for the future of continental integration and the Africa we all want.
The President recognized that since its inception in 1997, the National Defense College has sustained a magnificent tradition of providing world-class training and research on national security policy and strategy. The head of state hailed the Kenya Defense Forces for absorbing women in key leadership positions. He said that the 11 female graduates who undertook the course reflect tremendous progress in entrenching women's leadership and a promise of better representation in the future. Prior to the graduation ceremony, the President delivered a high-level lecture on opportunities to the cohort on African youth, time bomb or demographic dividend. The lecture addressed a variety of areas, among them security as the foundation of transformation, harnessing Africa's demographic dividend, and new green Africa industrialization, among others.
I take this opportunity to congratulate the graduates of course number 25 of the year 2022-23.
Honorable Aden Duale, Cabinet Secretary for Defense, chaired the first plenary meeting for the contact group on illicit maritime activities at the International Peace Support Training Center at Karen here in Nairobi. During the meeting, Kenya was anonymously endorsed to retain the chairmanship of the contact group, where the CS as the chair promised to achieve more milestones in the next 1 year.
In his address, Honorable Aden Duale affirmed Kenya's commitment to collaborate with the global community to enhance safety and security against threats caused by illicit maritime activities through the sea or international waters. The CS noted that all countries, whether coastal or landlocked, are prone to threats posed by international waters. He stated that it is important to identify areas of possible capacity building by the member states that constitute the group.
As a chair, I give you the commitment of the Republic of Kenya in collaboration with the global community on maritime safety and security. In line with this, you're all aware that Kenya has submitted its candidature for the position of the Secretary General of the International Maritime Organization, and I call upon your support in the coming elections. I'm happy to know that a cross-section of experts participating in this meeting, and I'm confident that indeed we shall see deeper collaborations and solutions.
This is to disrupt illicit financial networks arising from transnational maritime activities. His sentiments were echoed by Brigadier Joyce Sitienei, the International Peace Support Training Center Director, who said that maritime security threats continue to pose significant challenges with severe implication to states in Africa and beyond.
Increasingly, no state is free of these threats directly or passively. Africa, for example, has a total of 13 million square kilometers maritime economic zones and more than 17% global fresh and blue water resources, with 38 coastal states, all of which experience vulnerabilities associated with maritime security threats.
Brigadier Sitienei stated that there is a vast wealth of strategic resources and immense opportunities within Africa's maritime domain and blue economy that have not been fully tapped owing to associated threats.
In other stories, air operators drawn from Kenya Air Force units benefited from a 3-day air operators seminar held at Moi Air Base here in Nairobi. The seminar was graced by Major General John Omenda, the Commander Kenya Air Force. The seminar was facilitated by experts drawn from the Kenya Air Force, the Kenya Civil Aviation Authority, the Ministry of Transport, and the Kenya School of Government. The 3-day seminar aimed at enhancing the knowledge and skills of participants will contribute to safe flight operations and free of air accidents, effective and efficient handling of equipment, and also propagate a mutual understanding among all the aviators in various fields. Kenya Defence Forces medical personnel operating under Operation Maliza Uhalifu in conjunction with Medical Missions Africa and Multi-Destination Mission conducted a 3-day free medical camp in Turkana County. The exercise covered the areas of Lomelo, Kapedo, and Adoket Adome wards, where residents benefited from consultation and treatment of both acute and chronic cases, general medical checkups, nutritional assessment, and deworming.
During the 3-day free medical camp, the locals were educated on hygiene, proper nutrition, the importance of antenatal care, birth preparedness, and regular clinic visits. The medical team managed to attend to over 800 residents from the 3 wards of Turkana East, the majority of whom were women, children, and the elderly. The locals were also sensitized on the importance of peaceful coexistence with their neighboring communities and urged to engage and support development projects from the government and non-governmental organizations in a bid to bolster their socio-economic life.
Kenya Defence Forces troops based at Mkunumbi Military Camp operating under Operation Amani Boni donated assorted foodstuffs including rice, cooking oil, sugar, and fresh water to Bahati Njema Primary School. The troops also shared a meal with the learners and urged them to work hard in their studies and avoid engaging in activities that could distract and deter them from achieving their educational goals. Speaking during the exercise, Captain Mohamed Digale acknowledged the support of the locals to the troops within Operation Amani Boni and urged them to continue with the same spirit. Mkunumbi Assistant Chief Anne Halako David thanked the troops for always supporting the local populace through various civil-military cooperation activities and quick impact projects as they work towards improving security in the area. Troops from the 3rd Kenya Rifles Battalion, in collaboration with the Green Belt Movement of Kenya and the local community, participated in a tree planting exercise at Dundori in Nakuru County. During the exercise, over 15,000 tree seedlings were planted, with a target of planting over 168,000 indigenous tree seedlings in the area. The tree planting exercise aims at restoring the depleted ecosystem in Dundori Forest, which serves as a crucial water catchment area for most rivers in Nakuru. Elsewhere in Thika, soldiers from the 12th Engineers Battalion, led by Lieutenant Colonel Andrew Kapkomoi, the commanding officer, joined hands with representatives from the Equity Bank to plant over 6,000 tree seedlings within the military cantonment, Munyu Girls and Bagadi secondary schools. Moving on to Mombasa, the Kenya Navy personnel and Kenya Commercial Bank joined hands in a tree planting exercise at Kenya Navy Base Mtongwe. Lieutenant Colonel Evans Onyancha, the commanding officer, Kenya Navy Base Mtongwe, expressed gratitude to Kenya Commercial Bank for providing the seedlings. together with Kenya Commercial Bank representatives and Kenya Navy primary and junior secondary learners, the Kenya Navy personnel spearheaded the planting of 3,000 seedlings. Major General Kiugu Muthuri, the East African Community Regional Force Commander, made an inaugural visit to troops deployed at Rumangabo and Kibumba forward operating bases with the aim of boosting their morale, assessing the progress, achievements, and needs of the mission. Addressing the troops from both contingents, Major General Kiugu stressed the need to remain focused on the implementation of the East African Community Regional Force mandate and adhere to the status of the force agreement, concept of operations, and rules of engagement in all operations they are engaged in.
Major General Kiugu reiterated the need for the troops to remain committed and resilient towards executing their duties and respect the Democratic Republic of Congo's constitution and its sovereignty at all times. The force commander also urged the commanding officer to maintain the tempo, facilitating humanitarian aid to the local population and nurturing a positive relationship with the communities through the Nyumba Kumi initiative created to enhance security.
And now back to Mombasa County, participants of the Advanced Command and Staff Course from the United Kingdom Defence Academy visited the Kenya Navy headquarters at Mtongwe in Mombasa County. The delegation, led by Royal Navy Directing Staff Commander Christopher Gray, was on the 6th and final day of the UK Regional Security Exercise in Kenya. While addressing the UK delegation, Deputy Commander Kenya Navy Brigadier Yahya Abdi emphasized on the importance of the Advanced Command and Staff Course in leadership engagements. The Advanced Command and Staff Course involve UK armed forces, foreign military and civil servants from partner nations across the world. The course targets to strengthen the course participants' mastery of the professions of arms and to provide the intellectual edge required for professional success and government leadership. And now in the sports arena, adrenaline ran high during the 43rd edition of the Kenya Defence Forces Athletics Championship held at Ulinzi Sports Complex at Lang'ata, Nairobi. The Athletics Championship is part of the Chief of Defence Forces Bora Cup series. In this 43rd edition, world-renowned athletics champions such as Senior Sergeant Helen Obiri emerged as winners. Sergeant Obiri, representing Laikipia Air Base, bagged the women's 5,000 meters despite facing stiff competition from Corporal Jepleting. Fans were treated to highly heated races from sprint titans with the likes of Corporal Boniface Moresa dominating the 200 meters race and Senior Private Rukia Nusra clinching the 100 meters women's hurdles. The three-day event brought together formations and bases from across the country with the aim of promoting, preserving and talent sporting athletes who will eventually fly Kenya's flag in both national and global competitions. Thank you for watching. We look forward to your feedback via our official social media handles and your viewership next Friday for the KDF Weekly Bulletin. My name is Koplo Kibwanga Ferdinand. Goodbye.